This video was made in partnership with Compassion Washington. Please visit and support their work at compassionwashington.com.
As a city council member, I see a lot of partisan issues. Sometimes people try to make potholes partisan, but human trafficking is not partisan. It's just pure, unadulterated evil. Somewhere tonight, while we sit in the comfort of our homes, while students walk into schools carrying backpacks and dreams, while parents tuck their children into bed, believing the world is safer than it really is, a young girl is being hunted. Not in some distant country, not in the shadows of a war zone, right here in America. I heard about this up close in a recent episode I did of The Informed Citizen. I sat down with human trafficking survivor Bree Burnett, and what I learned was shocking. And what really struck me was not only the horror of the trafficking, it was the normalcy that surrounds it. She was just another girl in algebra class. All of her teachers thought she was happy. She was going to school like everybody else, but she was spending her nights and weekends in unimaginable ways. In that interview, I learned that the way this often begins is a young person is scrolling social media late at night, lonely, isolated, vulnerable, looking for connection in a world that too often confuses attention with love. And predators know this. They study vulnerability the way an investor studies markets. They identify pain, isolation, and neglect, and then they move in, slowly, sometimes with violence, but more often with compliments and gifts and words like, "I understand you." And before long, a child who had thought that she found safety discovers she found a prison. And that is the part we don't talk about enough. Human trafficking does not begin with chains. It begins with manipulation. It begins with grooming, and by the time many families realize what's going on, it's too late. Now, here's a really hard truth. Stopping this evil is really expensive. It takes investigators and lots of surveillance. It takes cyber units tracking encrypted messages. It takes social workers and prosecutors willing to endure horrific evidence. It takes safe houses and treatment centers and long-term recovery programs. And in a world of limited budgets and competing priorities, there are simply not enough eyes watching. This means we cannot leave this fight to law enforcement alone. We must become their watch. And it's going to take absolutely every one of us. Every teacher who notices sudden behavioral changes, every parent who asks one more question, every coach who sees fear in the eyes of a child, every hotel worker who trusts their instincts. This is the hard work of being on watch. That is how we combat evil. Not by outsourcing morality to the police, but by recognizing that every one of us has responsibility to protect our most vulnerable. Every trafficking victim once believed adults would protect them. Let's restore that belief by being a community that refuses to look away. Maybe one day, a generation of young people will grow up in a country where predators no longer find it so easy to operate in the silence between us. So I am asking something of you, not someday, not when it's convenient, right now. Learn the signs of trafficking. Talk to your children about trafficking. This is hard stuff, but it's really, really important. And support the organizations around you that are doing the difficult work of rescue and recovery. Demand that your cities and counties treat this crisis with the urgency that it deserves, and trust your instincts. You may be the only interruption between a predator and a child. Every evil succeeds when ordinary people convince themselves that someone else is going to handle it. And if enough Americans decide that our children are not for sale, then no trafficker hiding behind a motel door can withstand the moral force of a nation that refuses to look away. Let us say with one voice to every child trapped in darkness, we see you, and help is on the way.